So the role of the CMO in any enterprise is undergoing a great deal of change and has been for some time. And I think if you look back several years ago, what we worried about as CMOs is how many impressions could we make on a market? How many of those impressions converted into leads? And it was all about a marketing funnel. Nowadays, it's all about how do we transform the engagement with our customers and how do we create bi-directional conversations with our customers. And in order to do that, we have to be very sophisticated technologists because we have to do it with technology. So ultimately, I think that the whole concept of the buyer's journey and the customer life cycle has changed, and that in turn is changing how marketers engage with our customers. Well, I think those are very different questions. The relationship between the CMO and the CEO and the CMO and the CIO. So let's start with the CIO. There is an interdependency between the CIO and the CMO. And I would argue that neither of those executives can be successful if the other one is not successful. And it takes that deep partnership. I mean, I in marketing simply can't run my business without the support of IT. Now, ultimately what I care about is the delivery of my applications and access to my data. So at the end of the day, we both need each other. And I think it's all about partnership. Now, when it comes to the CMO and the CEO is about running the business. And in order for CMOs to be successful, I think they really need to step up and take a strategic role in their companies. It's about understanding the voice of the customer. It's understanding market trends, and it's bringing that insight back into the business so the CEO, along with all of his executive team, can effectively navigate the future of the company. I think CMOs need to continue to master technology and data. We need to retool our teams and ensure that we are bringing on the kinds of young talent that really dive into digital, to data. You need data scientists. You need to really be able to map out your customer experiences in a much more systematic way so that you can enable and foster relationships as opposed to just transactions. I think we need to become much more effective at delivering content. And it's not just generic content. It's the content your customers and your partners care about at the point in time that they want it, in the form factor that they want to consume it. And all of that is kind of new muscle memory for marketers. And it's no longer a one-size-fits-all marketing approach. You have to be much more sophisticated in how you think about engagement and serving an experience to your customers and your partners that is relevant to where they are in their own buying journey. Currently today, and this is no surprise, we do face a gender gap, whether especially in the technical roles in IT. Now in marketing and in many other functions, that gender gap is not nearly as pervasive, but in the technical roles, it's actually quite significant. VMware is very passionate about this topic, and we're working hard to help have an impact in closing the gap of gender diversity, really. And it starts with a variety of initiatives. First of all, it's awareness. And it starts with understanding your data. I mean, what is your gender gap within your enterprise? We at VMware are studying this. We're looking at our layers of management, understanding the ratio of women to men or differently abled people, and not just about gender, but it's also about diversity as a whole. And we do know, data has proven that more diverse organizations have better results. So there is an absolute compelling business reason for us all to take some of these issues, these gender and diversity issues, very seriously. We have a variety of initiatives at VMware. It's about unconscious bias training to make us all more aware of how we're bringing unconscious biases into the workforce. Empowerment and enablement. It's about understanding how we are writing job descriptions, and are we attracting a diverse set of candidates, or are we actually, by the way we're articulating a job description, narrowing the type of candidates that will apply. So I think there's a variety of initiatives. There's no single one approach that will close the gender and diversity gap, but I think it all starts with awareness and a commitment and to seeing that there's business value in driving a more diverse population within our companies. I think for up and coming chief marketing officers, it's really about some fundamentals. First of all, it's about taking risk and getting out of your comfort zone, getting close to your customers, because there's nothing like understanding your market and your customers' needs to make your insights and your ability to contribute more impactful. I think it's about people. It's about building great relationships, both internally and externally, and recognizing that above everything, people are ultimately what make businesses successful. And then I think it's a love of work. At the end of the day, we're all in very competitive marketplaces, and it's a fast-paced, moving economy, and it takes a certain degree of intensity and ambition and appetite to be really willing to go out and make things happen. But for the most part, I think if we set the bar extremely high for each of us as individuals, there's really no limit to what we can accomplish as marketers.